So we'll be offering our session live, what we are calling live now, the way we are doing. And then the session will be available through YouTube to listen to. So if you miss anything, do not worry. You'll still be able to revisit the session and listen. And this is not the only platform we are using for our sessions. We are using multiple platforms, as you'll see when we present. So we are also having a Google Classroom where we have 72 people. We want everybody to be in the classroom because all your assignments will be set in the classroom. So today we wanted our people to test how to connect, to see who is there. And we are now going to start our session. I recognize the presence of our CDE, Madam Regina, welcome. Our lead, Madam Luisa, welcome. And our facilitating team, the whole team is here for this launch. So when the appropriate time comes for them to speak, we are going to have them speaking. So I'll be guiding this particular session. And as we move on, we are trying to try out different devices and how we can use them. That's why I was telling you, try putting off your camera, switching on your mic, raising up your hand, so that we know how to navigate and how to work on this particular platform. So with all that, we are going now to start the presentation, and then we are going to have the official launch from, we'll call Madam Luisa to do the official launch. Madam Luisa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so maybe you could share your screen and do your presentation and do the protocol.
Sorry. Can you see me?
Yes, Luisa, we can see you.
Okay, just hold on as my screen is loading.
Please mute your mic if you are not speaking. Mute your mic.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your
Yes,
screen.
you can.
A presentation?
Okay.
Yes.
Can you see a presentation?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
I cannot see it.
It has gone to the end.
Sorry?
Yeah, we can see it now, yes.
You can see? It's written your
Yes.
professional learning journey?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So welcome everybody. My name is Luisa Kadzo of the British Council. I'm happy to see you all here. I was quite nervous when we talked of Teams, and I know that of late everyone is used to the word Zoom, and so I'm quite happy to see that you've been trying, even if you've been having challenges for the whole of last week. Everyone has been trying to join in and to complete the baseline surveys. So this screen that is showing now is just an overview of the journey we've been having with your school since we started in October 2019 up to now. So your professional learning journey is a journey that we are calling an instructional leadership journey, where we started off with the school leader, that's the head teachers, in October 2019. We also had the participation of the county leadership. We had the curriculum support officers joining in from the zones. We had sub-county directors, and the county director also has been learning with us in this process. So we took the head teachers through an introduction to core skills, which is what you'll be doing today and tomorrow. And then we also touched on some elements of leadership development. After which they came back to your school. I'm hoping you are all briefed on what the course was about. And you started thinking about an action plan. And this action plan is specifically looking at how to improve numeracy and literacy skills in your schools while applying what in British Council we call core skills, but in the Kenya curriculum, you're calling them competencies, which is the same thing. So while applying the competency-based curriculum, how can you specifically focus on improving literacy skills? So after that, we had another session with your head teachers. That was in January this year, where we went deeper to understand aspects about instructional leadership and how they can play a role in supporting you as teachers to improve teaching and also in the learning process. And then Corona happened. So I'm hoping that at least something was planned out with you. I think we've received action plans from all your head teachers. So we know what the thinking was and what the plans were around how to improve the learning and the teaching culture in your schools. So we are now here where we are calling it a practicum, where part of the practicum was to bring you teachers on board. And we are going to look at specific aspects when it comes to what are core skills and what are competencies and how are they practically applied in a classroom? How can you teach? How can you nurture? And how can you track that there's progress happening when it comes to either creativity or imagination, or when it comes to critical thinking, when you're looking at each individual learner? Remember that the vision of the basic education curriculum framework is that every child's potential shall be nurtured. So we're now going to look at specific aspects and give you some practical skills on how can you specifically teach competencies. Yes, you're teaching your subjects, but how can you teach competencies? And then after that, we are going to have a reflection workshop at some point later that we will communicate. So this is how your professional learning journey looks like. We are going to look at introduction to core skills and competencies. And then we are going to go specifically at how to teach them. And in this week, we are going to focus on teaching of critical thinking and problem solving. So we're going to be going deeper into that area. Though at the introduction level, you're going to have a feel of how to teach all the 7 competencies of the Kenya curriculum framework. Then we expect to have a school-based implementation plan. We know that currently schools are on recess. We know that there's some learning happening online. And we know that the president has now announced that in September, maybe schools will happen. So we're going to discuss within this context and the challenging situation that we are at, how can you still teach competencies in the tasks that you're sending your kids, in the support that you're giving, in using whichever platform that you're giving your learners. And then at some point, we will communicate when we will meet for a reflection session. I want to emphasize that for you to get a certificate, it is at the final level. So we expect full participation. We have provided data for you. So we want to expect 100% participation for the entire duration. We expect active involvement even during the recess time that you'll have for some implementation. And we will be communicating more on how we are going to not only reflect, but to celebrate the success that you've had, despite the challenging circumstance that the whole world is facing right now. So when I talk about what the core skills are, so skills and competencies translated, we are looking at the ways of working, where we are looking at communication and collaboration skills. Ways of thinking, which is critical thinking and problem solving skills, and also creativity and imagination skills. Ways of living, where we are looking at student leadership, we're looking at self-efficacy, and we're looking at learning to learn. And then the tools needed, which is digital literacy. Literally right now, we are having a virtual training. We had planned to do this face-to-face. So digital literacy is so critical to be able to nurture a learner who's going to fit and live in the 21st century. So as teachers, we are going to be championing this through this week by the different platforms and tools and experiences we are going to have. So it's not only you being trained, but for you to see how a virtual learning environment can be structured so that even as you're giving support to your learners during this time, you can be able to challenge yourself and use up some of the techniques you're going to see this week to make your classes more interesting, more interactive, and to ensure that learning is happening. So I'm not going to take more time. I'm going to invite our County Director, Madam Regina, to also address us.
Thank you, Louisa. Can everybody hear me? I hope they're seeing me and hearing me as well. I just unmuted myself. I hope I'm able to be heard.
Yes,
Mine is very following from what Louisa has said. I'm glad that the British Council has decided to do this for us as a county, and that they're really helping to nurture us so that we are able to nurture the children that are under our care. I honestly want to thank them most sincerely and to assure them and tell them that we're going to really support this cause. I expect all the CSOs present and all the sub-county directors present to really help us support this. From the teachers, I expect 100%, I want you to be there 100%, 100% participation, so that we don't let this go down the bridge without us hearing anything or learning a thing. You all know that this training was supposed to be there in March, and it was pushed to April. Again, COVID couldn't allow us, and now we're here. I must thank the British Council most sincerely for allowing us to have it at this particular time. And the fact that they will be supporting with bundles and all that shows you how critical this aspect of learning or training you is. So my humble appeal to all of you, kindly participate, kindly engage, and do all that you can. Sign into the course and always throughout the duration so that we don't appear as a letdown. Kiambu has always been very good. Are we together? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of noise. Can we all listen?
Unmute yourself, Madam CD. Please unmute yourself. I had to mute everybody else so because of the noise. Sorry.
Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so I hope up to there we were all together. Allow me just to proceed on a little, because I want us to know that to be great teachers, we have to be creative. And I must thank you all team, that this is a very creative way of engaging the teachers. And I pray and hope that we will, go down to another level using the same tricks. The other day you were teaching us how to use Zoom. Today we are here on Team. I don't know what else you'll surprise us with tomorrow, but as teachers, we want to assure you that we will do more. We will not disappoint you. In Kiambu, we've always been top-notch, and we expect that we'll do that again. My teachers who are still struggling to join will be with us soon, I want to assure you. And if there's anything, as Lisa has said, please contact them and let them get technical support that they may need. I was informed that this course will go on for 6 days, at least for 3 hours a day. And that is all we can ask for. If we have 2 clusters and two counties all put in one and divided into clusters, I think all we can do is support it. If we start today, we are hoping that the course will go up to 7th of July, I was made to understand. And if all of us participate well, I'm sure even the 3 hours can be condensed. And if it's not condensed, then we should not go beyond 7th of July. I mean, that is just very, very good because nobody knows about what will happen after that. But I'm praying that after 7th of July, the British Council will find it fit to continue engaging us, continue training us so that we are the best county in this country. And while we are at that, I hope the whole world will know that Kiambu is ready and willing to learn. Are we there, team? Today was just a day for introduction. We have heard, we have seen, and we are ready, Madam Luisa and Daktari. So pick it up from there and let's move on. Count on my support and count on teamwork from my team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Director. We appreciate your support. Handing over back to our facilitator, Dr. Gyoko, to take us forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Director, for your very good welcoming remarks and the promise that you'll be with us, and also the teachers are going to participate. So this is a very interesting journey, and we hope that we'll be learning together. And in the process, we will be working through and exploring how best to retool ourselves in our classroom and how we can improve in terms of enhancing the core skills which we are addressing. So today we'll be exploring some of the things in the session that includes the crisis in education and some activity, but the main purpose is for us to unpack digital literacy, so that we see digital literacy being one of the core competencies. In the competency, we see practicability, how it can be deployed practically in class, and you have seen its prominence in this time of COVID, whereby remote access to learning is what everybody is doing. So my screen is loading, where I want to now share the session as we begin. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself. So if you are not speaking, mute yourself. The screen is still loading so that we can begin our session. Today we'll be looking at teaching core skills, which is our main topic addressing. Please, if you are speaking, make sure your mic is off.
Wow, that was an excellent class. I think we've all followed it very well. For those who perhaps have not met me, I teach class B.
So
I'm not going to say much because I think Mr. Lebuta has taken us through essentially what is plain English, international relevant examples during the COVID-19 situation. And I think this is
speaking, we need to meet everybody.
Moving forward, and as you are told as they started off, this is a pilot class. But the way things are going, I am sure by next week we will now go back to the normal, and this will be the new normal before September. So I want to urge all students just prepare and try and
If you can see my screen, raise up your electronic hand. Okay, thank you. I can see hands. So today we are exploring CTPS remotely, how we can see the course experience. So Louisa and team has just opened this. So now we are going to proceed. And this is how our session will look like. We are 1 hour late. We are supposed to have started at 9 sharp. Then we go through up to 11:30. Now knowing we are 1 hour late, we'll see how we are going to manage within this particular time. So the presentation is going to address the learning environment so that we acclimatize ourselves with the learning environment. We are going to address the global crisis in education. And one of the activity was sent in your WhatsApp, and the other one was sent where you listen to it. So you have covered part of that. Then we'll have an exercise to look at what is deep versus surface learning. How do the two, why do they look different? And also for this, you have done part of it, whereby something was sent in WhatsApp and you listened, and thank you very much for the feedback, which most of you have posted in WhatsApp, in the Google Classroom, and in the Flipgrid. We have been using 3 mediums, and the response is very good. And finally, we will look at questioning techniques. And all these are part of our course, because for us to demonstrate the tools, we need to have some content so that we use it to demonstrate the tools of how we're going to address them. So to begin with, there is what we call same time, same place. Same time, same place is when you are in class with your learners. You are there and all your learners are there. Unfortunately, that has not been able to work for us. So we have gone to same time, different place. Meaning now we are all together at the same time, but we are all at different places. And then there's another one, which is different time, same place. This is applicable where people are in different geographies. You're calling people in the United States, others are in Japan. So you can be in the same place, but you're in different time zones. And then we have different time, different place. This is like the Google Classroom. The Google Classroom, when the work will be sent, anybody can access at their own time, and they can be at a different place. So you find that for this same time, same place, we don't have it because of COVID, but we have same time, same place. And because we're in the same geographical place, Kenya, so we have different time, different place as a possibility. So for same time, same place, we'll be using Microsoft Teams, what we are using now. And it really requires a lot of discipline, so that because when you don't mute yourself, you distract the session. So if everybody is muted and only the presenter is presenting, it becomes very smooth. And while we are doing this, you'll be seeing on the screen some symbols which will be guiding you. For example, that symbol says I am the one talking. That symbol says, can you chat? For that activity, can we chat? That symbol say, I'm raising my hand, attention please, attention please. And that symbol say, I'm presenting. So you'll be having opportunity for you to present. Then that symbol is, we are listening to something. When a video is presented, when you see that, it means now listen to this particular video. And when there is some task to be done, you will see that particular symbol on the screen. And when you see that symbol, it means we are breaking away to different rooms. So when that symbol comes, you'll see a link, and then we'll all go to that particular link, and then go to small groups, and then we come back to the bigger group. So those are the things which we'll be doing when you are doing face-to-face. And when you see that link with some faces, it means self-regulated learning. That link, that symbol is showing that you have been given a task to go and study at your own time. That is regulated learning. In most cases, that one will be the takeaways that we'll be doing. And then for our Google Classroom, we have also been using different time, different place. We have been using WhatsApp. So WhatsApp will be our media of communication and exchange and sharing a lot of information. And we also have Google Classroom. So these two medias will be used concurrently. And in this, we are going to access some information like Spreaker. Spreaker, a podcast like the one you listened about deep versus surface learning. That was a Spreaker. So the Spreaker can either be shared in the Google Classroom or in the WhatsApp. That's a podcast. Then we have Flipgrid. So Flipgrid is whereby you gave, some people gave introduction of a video. I have 12 people who responded. So a link is shared, you click on the link, you enter a code, you record yourself for 90 minutes. So that one will be shared either through WhatsApp or through the Google Classroom. Then we have Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle, these are interactive videos. And these videos, they play, then pause, and then they ask you questions. There was one which was posted yesterday, which in WhatsApp. So when you just click, it plays, it pauses, asks you to respond. Then you respond with your answers, and then you continue playing. Then we collect all the answers as your facilitators. Then there is Google Doc, which you have used for the first assignment, MOPAT, the pre-activity which was given about education crisis, which most of you responded. That is something which we'll also use. And then finally, somebody was taking my control. Please don't take control, because somebody just took my control and interrupted my session. So, for the different time, same place, we also have the Google Forms. Google Forms, will be using them for questions, for quizzes to get one. And this will also be accessible through the Google Classroom and the WhatsApp. So for the learning environment, there are some things which we need to understand and follow. So this is our page. This is what we are all accessing. So we need to look down here. This is what you use when you are muting yourself or when you are unmuting. Then when you are going off the camera, then there is a hand here, there's a chat. And on the side here, this is where you place your chats when you're chatting. So that is something which we need to know.
Stay in the center of the screen. Your face shouldn't be too high or too low. Camera should be at face level and should maintain a distance of 30-inch or 1 arm distance. Light should be in front of you, not behind you. While using a phone for video call, make sure it's in landscape mode. Your background should be preferably plain or minimalistic. Try to make sure nobody keeps moving around behind you while you are in the meeting. Keep the camera on. It's considered indecent to keep the camera off. Keep the mic on mute when you are not speaking. Rename to make sure your company and your name appears. Try being still. Do not move a lot. And don't fidget. Eating is not considered decent. However, sipping a cup of coffee or tea is fine. You have to speak. Speak in normal tone. Do not shout. Always be on time, or 5 minutes early for meeting. Dress smart and appropriately. You might have to stand. When you are done, let the team know by telling, "I am done" or "Thank you." Stick to the time limit. Do not exceed it. Always have a pen and paper handy to make notes of important points in meeting. Make sure your battery power, mic, speakers, internet connection, and camera are all up and running. Be attentive, focused, and avoid multitasking. If you have to speak, prepare and practice your presentation or script. Most importantly, be yourself and smile.
So those are some of the participation tips which we need to adhere to. And it has said keep your camera on, but because of bundles issue, it's good to keep it off so that you use less bundles as you are engaging. So the learning outcome for this particular session is teachers and school leaders, for you to have an awareness of the purpose of the school in terms of developing the core skills to the learners. And we are also expected to effectively prepare our lessons in a way that they will enable us to implement the teaching of core skills. So there is an awareness, and then there's a level of engagement of us being able to teach the core skills. And as we are doing the core skills teaching, we also need to be able to track and establish evidence to see that these competencies are attained. And this is how we can do it. One, we can look at situation where the core skills are present, that is within and outside the classroom, and how they can be nurtured. So the way your learners participate in class, the way they participate outside the class, as a teacher, you should be collecting that evidence, track record, to see what is the enhancement of the core skill and how is it happening in the school. The teaching approaches that you are deploying in the classroom, how are they enhancing the core skills ability? That is the kind of evidence that as teachers we need to collect continuously so that it can be a feedback to us as we review and revise our sessions. And finally, how can we nurture the abilities? Because when you say critical thinking and problem solving, there are many abilities which demonstrate that. So as teachers, our role is to track, to see its implementation, how is it disposed in terms of the outlooks of the learners, and how can we nurture. So this is what we are offering. So for those who can go on chat and type, what are your expectations? If this is what we are offering, what are your expectations? So type your expectations in the chat. We are offering these three: creating awareness, effective teaching, evaluating, and evidence acquisition. So go to the chat and type in your expectations. What do you expect from this course? So let's go to the chat and type our expectations. I'm in the chat now looking at expectations, and you can also read. What are your expectations? If you're able to type, please type in the chat. What are your expectations? So Alice Njore says to be well versed, and Margaret Ndirango to acquire more skills of teaching. Janet Murutu talks of good performance in our schools. Gatonga Mika talks of I'm expecting to acquire better approaches in nurturing learners. Masi Mwaneki says to be a better teacher in terms of effectiveness. And Virginia talks of good performance in schools. We have Scholar Njoki to emerge a better teacher, to be better equipped in handling learners in class. Winnie talks of to acquire knowledge on how to impact core skills. Somebody is taking over my presentation. We have Regina to have in-depth understanding of what is expected. Then Masi Kinyo to acquire knowledge on how to impact
I think Dr. is muted. I'll continue reading the charts.
yeah,
She's effective in teaching the core skills, evaluate evidence to the learners. Maria says to apply effective teaching approaches in classroom. Masiden, acquire knowledge on how to apply the core skills in class. Winnie, to enable me evaluate degree of acquisition of core skills by learners.
So thank you, Abdi, for that. We are going to proceed, and so I will ask you that as we are learning in this particular workshop, our success will be based on your engagement. Our success will be based on your engagement. It will also be determined by how you are identifying the things that you will replicate in your schools and using them to develop a plan of action. And then our success will be determined by how you are self-evaluating yourself. So when you'll be having the reflection sessions where you are supposed to reflect, that will be telling us on how you are reflecting or you are evaluating yourself. Then our success will also be determined by what you will present during the reflection workshop. And that will be a workshop, as Lisa has said, where you will be showcasing what you have taken away from this course and implemented in your school and seeing how it can look like in the school. So that is how we are going to measure your success. So there will be a lot of teaching activity in this particular session. We'll be having talks, there'll be brainstorming, there'll be sharing, you'll be prompted by questions to answer on something. There will be assessment for learning opportunity. You'll also be working in groups. You'll have opportunity to read, listen, watch, which you have already done in WhatsApp. So there'll be some things sent to you to listen, to read, to watch. You'll have opportunity to collaborate. There will be opportunity to discuss as well as do an investigation. a lot of time will be given to practice because each day, two schools or 4 schools will be modeling a lesson. So there'll be a lot of hands-on activity. And we are expecting that you'll come out with the lesson plan, with the reflections, with the learning objects, which you'll develop during all this particular session. So this is the range of activities which we'll be doing during this particular session. So I'd like to ask all of us, which is your learning style? Can you type it in the chat? We have visual or spatial, we have linguistic or verbal, logical or mathematical, auditory or musical, naturalistic, kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal. I know we have all these, but which one is your predominant learning style? Can you type it in chat? Which one is your predominant learning style? Type it in chat. I can see Wilson Sirongo saying visual. Thank you. John Kanyoro says logical, Alison Jiko, linguistic, visual learning. That is great. Okay, Regina, auditory. Jennifer Kimani, visual. So it's very good to know your learning style, and it's also good to know your learners' learning styles so that you can just see that we are very different within this small group, and therefore understanding who we are is much better. Then I'll ask you another question. What type of a learner are you? What type of a learner are you? Are you matching with your style or it's different? Let's type in the chat. What type of a learner are you? Let's type in the chat. What type of a learner are you? We have choices on the screen. Moses Ouma says logical. Joyce Muni says logical too. Please refer to the choices on the screen. Okay. We have an ease learner, we have a naturalistic learner, kinesthetic, we have a visual. We have a logical, kinesthetic. Okay. So now you know your learning style and we know the type of a learner. Yes, Abdi is a scribbler. Okay. Okay, thank you. So I will pass this because we have already introduced ourselves and our school. So in the Google Classroom, which we joined by an app, it is now in our phone. This is how it looks like in our Google Classroom. And we have the stream, we have the classwork, we have the people, we have the marks. So that when you click stream, stream is where we are going. You see, this is the people in the class. All these are the people in the classroom, which we can see. We can see them, the people in the classroom. Then if you click people, you can see your classmates. And if you click classwork, you will see assignments. There will be assignments, there will be quizzes, there will be materials. Materials is if there's an article you want you to read, we'll post it there. So this is our class where we have everything posted. So we want our learners to be fully developed in the head, in the heart, and in the hands. That is what they know conceptually in the heart, what they appreciate effectively in their heart, and what they can do skillfully with their hands. So in that case, you find that Cecilia, your screen is blank. It will be okay. I hope nobody else is seeing a blank screen. So these are the outcomes of our learners. We would expect when our learners graduate from our schools, they have all these dispositions and outlook. So I want to ask all of you, do you see any which you think is missing? After reading all this, on what you would like your graduate, learners who have passed through you, do you see any attribute or a disposition which is missing among what is displayed? Daniel Kuria, your screen is blank. It will be, I hope it could be an internet issue. Can you just check if you are connected and refresh? It takes some time to refresh the screen. Abdi, is your screen blank?
No, my screen is clear. I can see our learners' hands, head, heart outlook.
Okay. So please, if your screen is blank, Cecilia and Daniel, it might take some few minutes, then it will be okay, 1 or 2 minutes or less. So
okay,
please post if you have any outlook or disposition which you think is missing from the learners who pass through you. Can you type it in the chat? Type in the chat any disposition or outlook which you think it's not covered by QCDA. So we're waiting for your responses in the chat. Okay, Wilson Sirengo says learners should be well adjusted as opposed to being maladjusted. So maybe William, you need to tell us more. John Canyo says self-esteem. Self-esteem needs to be added. Okay. Lucy Kiman talks of creative. I can see self-esteem is there, Kanyoro. And okay, I can't see creative confidence.
It's there too. Creative is there, bottom left.
Okay, creative is there. Okay, so we are asking you to add. Should we add something? Flexible is also there, Winnie. Flexible is there. So Waneki talks about adaptable to change. Adaptable to change. Hands-on, okay. Innovative. So write any attributes. Collaborates, which you think, I think collaborates is gets on well with others. It's covered there. Lucy Kimani talks of an all-round person. So you can see we have our aspirations of how our learners will look like. There is a trusted learner. There is learning through observation, able to solve life problems. So you can see we have our aspiration of what we want our learners to be when they get out of our schools. Now we need to ask ourselves, whatever we do in the classrooms, are we preparing them for that? All the activities, all the assignments, all the field trips we are doing, all the texts we give them, is it preparing them for that? So that is a critical question that we need to ask ourselves. This video on the quality of education was sent to you in the WhatsApp, and you watched it and you listened to it. So what I like you to post now in the chat is what was your point of view after watching this video? What was your point of view in a sentence? Write a sentence to bring out your point of view. After watching the video, which was sent to you in WhatsApp, what is your point of view, having watched that video? So let's type in the chat our point of view.
Just a clarification, Dr. Gioko, are you referring to the Zambia teacher video?
No, no. There's another video which was sent in Edpuzzle.
Okay, maybe you can resend the link for the benefit of the people.
Abdi, can you check it in the WhatsApp and share again?
Okay. Doing that shortly.
Okay. So it will be reshared in your WhatsApp. It was shared. Keep your WhatsApp live and keep checking. And remember, as we are moving on, our chat is a point whereby we can ask our questions anytime. So in case you have a question, just post it there. We have all facilitators there and you'll get a very quick response of your question. So if you watch that video, which was sent in WhatsApp, share your point of view. What was your point of view?
I watched, but it did not open. It did not play.
Okay, that's okay. So for those who watched, for those who it played, let us see what is your view. I'm going to post the link on the chat again for the purpose of those who did not watch. I posted the link on the chat. For those who did not watch, I posted the link on the chat. Click on the link and listen. So seems like we didn't watch. It happens in class. So I can share my screen again, and this is what I sent everybody.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system.
And then it will play like
Listen
that.
to the video on the flaws in education system, and then respond to the questions which will be emerging.
So when it comes to you, it will come like that. Then you'll press continue.
No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms, but what is the root cause to all this?
So it asks you a question, what are some of the symptoms you see? So you'll go there and type, no conceptual understanding. So you'll type answers there, and then you submit.
Kibutu unaelewa?
Then it will proceed. You'll
So the video talked about the flaws in the education system. And what Daktari has just shown us is part of the clip that was sent to our WhatsApp groups. The video link has been sent to our WhatsApp, so you can still watch it there. It is something we had expected that we will watch, but you can take some time to watch it. As you watch it, you will realize that it keeps asking you questions in between. So when it asks a question, you're supposed to fill in the question and then continue. So the video pauses for you to answer, and then it continues. I hope that has made it a bit clear for those who don't know what the video is. I have seen a very good post by Philomena Wanjiko, who says that learners learn through mastery and memorization. That is what the system showed us, the old system, where the learners might not necessarily get the meaning of the concept effectively. I should give room for learners to explore further. And I think that's a very good reflection from the teacher who watched that particular clip.
Abdi, can you see my screen?
Yes, now I can see. I have already explained what the screen is all about while you are muted.
Okay, so like here you'll say A for what, you answer. I just wanted to show it so that those who have not seen, because there'll be more exercises which will be done like this. So once you submit, then you play again. It continues.
Okay, no more questions. Did you think Apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so, because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A, and A's.
So here you can share any word starting with the A. You put the list of words which starts with A, so that I can't remember any words which starts with A. Can someone tell me a word which starts with A?
Agnes. An ant.
An
ant.
Ant.
Alice.
Alice, okay. So you can see now antelope. So you can see that there is a difference.
April app. Different answers would have in everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today.
So there's a question here. Do you allow your learners to think in their class activity? So you can say if it is always, sometimes. So you answer and then you submit. So these are the interactive videos which they'll be sent in your Google Classroom and in WhatsApp. And the idea is for you to watch and then you
Only
listen.
the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same?
So here it is asking, does our education system make every child the same? So according to you, you answer what you think, and then we continue. And then when you press continue,
let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become dependent on others for answers. They completely lose their true nature, and their extraordinary potential remains unrealized. Now, we face a million problems in the world for which we are only awaiting answers. So, what is the solution? We need an education system that recognizes that every child is different and is questioning based so that it brings out the extraordinary human potential in every child.
So again, here it will ask you what's your take, and then you answer what you think is your take. So we'll be sharing a lot of sessions on like this, whereby you will require to take part and answer them as you are working with them. So that is one way which we wanted to demonstrate that some of the sessions that we'll be sharing, we will be using some software like that. We have given an example, and in that particular software, you are listening for a video with a video. You are listening a video, and then you are answering questions, and we'll be getting your questions as you answer them. So that is why we are demoing what we are demoing, so that you see what is possible. So I will proceed. For those who have watched or did not watch, but now we have watched together, you know. Now, my question is, what is the difference between education and learning, according to you? What is the difference between education and learning? So for this, we wanted you to record a short video and you post it in the class stream.
Daktari, you are muted.
Oh, somebody is muting me. Okay, so
Just repeat what you just said. Yes.
This is the Google Classroom. Can you see the Google Classroom on the screen? Can you see? Yeah. So in this Google Classroom, we are supposed to record a video. Take your phone, record your video like this. I've taken my phone, I record a short video on I talk about the difference between education and learning. So for example, I can say, I can stop and record myself using my phone, that the difference between education and learning is that education is and learning is. That's it, then you stop. Once you stop, then you go to the Google Classroom and you post that particular video. Once you have recorded yourself, what you are seeing on the screen, you'll come here and say, my video on education versus learning. And then you'll go here and add. You'll click add, and you can see you can go to Google Drive, you can go to link, or you can go to file. So if I have my video ready on my computer, I can be able now to play it there. So I didn't record properly. So you can go on the video and record yourself. I'm just demonstrating that the difference between education and learning is the purpose and duration. So I've recorded myself like that. And after recording myself, now I will post it. I will post it in that particular class. And when you look at the class, you will see the class. I want to demo that. I post in the class so that when you see it in the class, you also do the same. I want you to post a short video on what is the difference between education and learning. So I'm going to class again. I'm using my phone in class, but you'll see it there. I'm going to the stream and I want to say video. Video on education and learning. And learning. Then I want to upload that particular video. It's a file. I'll browse that particular video and upload it there. So that is what we'll be doing to upload, because when I go click file, it will show me files. I'll go select a file from the device. So I'll go and look at a video which I want to upload. So for example, I'll go there and I have my video here and I choose that particular video. It comes, it's uploaded here in the stream. You can see it is uploading. And then I say upload. So you go pick it on your computer, place it here, and then it will upload. Once it has uploaded, it is uploading. And this is how we are going to submit videos, because we'll be required to submit something you have done, a video of you in class, a video of you doing activity as part of the submission in the Google Classroom. So it is uploading here. This is just a different video I took. And then you can see it is here. Then post. So when you post, then already everybody in the class will be able to see you, and they'll be able to see the video which you have posted. So you can see here, our facilitator Charles is telling us, kindly post your video, the difference between education and learning here. So that is what I wanted to demonstrate with this. So I'll get out and go back to our session to explain what is the difference between education and learning. So once you post your video there, we are going to read and see what is your perspective on the difference between education and learning. So this is what literature says, that these are the differences. Education takes place under guidance of an educator. Learning does not require an educator or guidance. Education is prompted by extrinsic motivation. Learning is prompted by intrinsic motivation. Education is a systematic process. Learning is not systematic. Education is received up to a certain age, and learning is lifelong. But I'd like you to post a video on your own perspectives. So the other assignment which we had was the pencil, which was done very well. So what I'll do, I'll go to the class again and I'll demo to you when you submit what happens. So if I go back to class, this is our class. If I go to classwork, this is the assignment which was submitted. The global crisis was given on June. Here you can see, this is what I see as a teacher. When I click on this, you can see 12 people have handed in. By the time I was checking, only 3 had handed in, and I marked those 3. So for this question on global crisis, when you submit, this is what we see. And if I go and check who handed in, I'll click here, and I'll see all the students who handed in. For example, if I go and see those who I marked, I'll go and see Joseph Karaoke, Daniel Kuria, and Joy Frida submitted their answers. So when you do an assignment, you have to click return so that it is submitted. And when we are marking, it comes to us, and we say that I'll look at those who have handed in. Let me open Nancy Gitau. If I open Nancy Gitau's work, this is what Nancy Gitau has done. And she's saying, I can't find a question on the article. So according to her, there were no questions on the article. What I will do is I will type a comment here, please scroll down. So when I post, Nancy Gitau is going to get this comment on please scroll down. And when I press return, she's going to receive the paper, which is unmarked, but she'll be told to do it again. So you can see it's saying missing because she did not do the work. I'll go to the next person. This is Abdi. He has submitted that. I can see what he has submitted, and then I can give marks. I can say this, then I can give marks, say he got 80, and I will say return. When I say return, Abdi will get his marked paper written 80. So I'm returning Abdi's work. So I'll go to the next person, Bernadette Kalekie. She has not submitted anything, so it is missing. So I can go to those who have handed in. For example, Kanyoro has handed in, and then I check Kanyoro's work. So this is Kanyoro's work. You can see he has said, yes, I do get surprised. So there is here, and I can add my comments on Kanyoro's work, or I can add comments here. Thank you for the observation. So I'm telling Kanyoro, I've seen your assignment, and I can mark here and say 100 because I can see, yes, I do get surprised. Sometimes after the lesson, I ask questions related to the lesson and only a few learners are able to respond. 3, I revisit the topic mostly by giving questions. So he has looked at the crisis of 4 learners out of 10 not studying, and he has given his perspective. I will post, so he will get this feedback, then I will return. So when your work is returned, you will receive your work, you will see the comments, and you will see what has been done. So that is what I wanted to demonstrate in terms of returning the work, and I can return for many. So I will go back to the class, and this is what I have. I can see all the assignment the class have done, and I can see all the marks the people have done. So if I go to marks, this is what we'll be seeing. So if you look at the marks, you can see all our students will be here, that is all of you, and all the assignments. So far, we have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 assignments. And when you answer them, we see you have responded. When you see missing, it means people have not responded. It will appear missing when the deadline has reached. So this is how we will be doing. So when you see an assignment in the classroom, you go to the classroom, you will see an assignment. And when you see that assignment, you need to take the assignment, because this is the classroom. This is the stream. This is where we'll be chatting, in the stream. And when an assignment is posted, you will see it in the stream. And you'll also see it here. If you view all, you will see all upcoming assignments showing. So these are all upcoming assignments. You can see 8 people have handed in this one person has handed, this one nobody has handed. So as you look at the assignments, you'll be able to see in the classroom who has handed in an assignment and who has not. So that is what I wanted to demonstrate in terms of this global crisis. And the other question we gave was a workbook, whereby we talked of global crisis in education. It was scheduled for today, so we are expecting your feedback by today. You post, you go to the classroom, you click on this particular workbook, you read, you answer the questions, you return, and then we are going to mark what happened. So we'll be doing a lot of work in the classroom. We'll be just coming here face to face to engage and interact and speak to each other. But most of the work we'll be doing is in the classroom. So there'll be a lot of reading. So you see that when you talk about education for all, we are talking about 4 things. One is a sense of urgency, that we need to renew the education agenda so that it is holistic, ambitious, aspirational, and nobody is left behind. We are also talking about inclusion and equity, so that the education that we are offering is transformative, and whatever we are doing, there is no exclusion or marginalization. We are able to address all inequalities in our class, and all learners, irrespective of their marginalization, whether being financial, religious, or where they are coming from geographically, they are able to participate actively in the class. And as teachers, the way we frame our session facilitates everybody to come on board. Furthermore, we also appreciate the importance of gender equality, so that education is a right for everybody, irrespective of their gender. And finally, that all the actions, activities, experiments, field visits, they are developed in a way to fuel sustainability to education. And if you look at the goal here, it talks about inclusivity and equitability education, which promote lifelong learning. So these are the 4 things which we'll be addressing to make sure that education for all and inclusivity is addressed. So we did listen to the short podcast which was sent, and the podcast was Why Deep Learning? And some people have responded on WhatsApp, but I'd like you to post now in the chat here, what is your role to make deep learning happen? Having listened to the podcast, when the podcast was sent, it was like this, what you can see on the screen. When you clicked on the link which was sent on WhatsApp, this is the background which came up. So when you played, you listened to it. So after listening to the podcast on why deep learning, can you tell us what is your role to make it happen? Let's look at the charts and see what is your role to make it happen. So post on the chat, what is your role to make deep learning happen? What is your role to make it happen? I'm looking at the charts. What is your role to make deep learning happen? I can see Winnie saying to ensure I use the right teaching methods. Okay. Mercy, you can't see my screen. It's because of net. Mercy Kinywa, prepare adequately before going to class. Yes. So we have two, the right teaching methods and adequate preparation. They have been posted there by our colleagues. Winnie talks about producing conducive environment for learning, employ differentiation in teaching. Hannah talks about avail the right teaching resources. Cecilia talks about be a more competent teacher, using learning material appropriately, variant teaching approaches, and motivate learners. Alice Onjiko applying necessary media. Mary's Den ask provoking questions. Rachel Wamba says teach using right methods and prepare well. So we can see that we have agreed on that. So we were given an assignment again in the Google Classroom. And in this assignment, it was a bit different because it was using Google Forms. So let me go to the class again live so that I demo what I'm talking about. It was showing the Google form. We are given an assignment. This is the assignment. And in this assignment, it gives a Google form. You can see 8 people have handed in. Now, Google form is a form whereby this is how it looks like. So we are given this and we are supposed to answer what is deep and what is shallow. And I can show you the results of the 8 people who have responded, but I'm expecting everybody to respond. So 12 people have responded, and this is what they have been saying. So for example, if you look at the first question, active search for meaning. 11 people said it's deep, 1 person said it's shallow, and that person did not get it correct. We went to anxiety, and 2 people says it's deep, which was incorrect. 10 people said it's shallow, which is correct. We went to confidence. 12 people got it right, that it is deep learning. And then we went to examining the logic of an argument. 9 people got it right as deep, and 3 people said it is shallow. Failure to distinguish principles from example. This is shallow, but 3 people thought it was deep. Focus on discrete fact without integration. 3 people thought it was deep, but the correct answer was shallow, which was by 9 people. Higher long-term retention. 10 people thought it is deep, retention, but the correct answer was shallow, which was by 2 people. Long-term retention, we have 4 people who thought it was deep, but the actual answer, it is shallow, low long-term retention. Memory, memorization, 4 people thought it was deep, but the actual answer was shallow, which was 8 people. And then relating concept to everyday experience, everybody thought it was deep, and it was actually deep. Relating evidence to conclusion, we had 10 people saying it's deep, which is correct, and 2 people thought it was shallow. Relating innovative ideas to previous knowledge, we had 12 people saying it is deep, which was correct. And reflective about purpose and strategy, we had 12 people saying it's shallow, and that was correct. And then finally, vigorous interaction with content. We had 11 people saying it's deep and 1 is shallow. So when you answer this, you'll be gaining points, and these points will be accumulating. You can see in this class, we had 11.25 average, and the median was 12.4, and the range was 11 to 13. And I can even research at the questions and see how the questions were answered and the way they were distributed. And I can also go to the individuals and look at the individuals. So when this is Google form. When you go to the assignment in the class and you see that it is giving you something to answer, whereby you need to click like this one. So this is Google form. You need to click, and you can see Winnie Washira saying some of the statements are hard to classify for instant vigorous interaction with content. Thank you, Winnie. And Lucy Kimani was saying very provoking questions, and Lucy Mwenda was saying very challenging. So we are expecting the rest of you who have not done this in the Google Classroom, you go into the Google Classroom and now you have some whiff on the answers, and you respond to those answers and you say what is deep and what is shallow in that particular activity. So I'm demonstrating what you can do online and what you can do offline. We sent this video to you in WhatsApp, and very commendable feedback we have got from everybody. A lot of observation. Key points which came up is lack of class control. That is what came out from everybody. And we were wondering, what is class control to you? Can you type in the chat, what is class control to you? Let's type in the chat, what is class control to you? Let's type in the chat, according to you, what is class control? Let's type what is class control. And I'll allow 2 people to raise up their hand and they tell us what is class control, because that is what came out very strongly in our discussion. So somebody can raise up their hand, then we allow you to say something. I'm waiting for somebody to raise a hand, then I call you out. We hear what is class control according to you? Or people are already writing, okay.
I'm reading. Mercy says ensuring that all learners are alert during the lesson, no activities not related to the lesson. Karaoke says ability to bring order in learning process so as every learner participates as others listen. Rahab says ability of the teacher to manage the class fully and not only teaching. Ensuring has moved very fast there. Karaoke says considering time takers in your class. Kamau says using different methods of teaching. Rahab says just getting the messages. They're flown in very fast.
Yeah, which is very good. So as you that there was that quick observation that everybody was saying that this teacher did not have good class control. And what we gave was not the best. We cannot say it was an exemplary, but what we wanted you to observe is learning happening? Are learners disrupting the learning? Because you saw very well in the video, we are not teaching robots. We are not teaching, we are teaching human beings. So if I'm learning, and my best way to think is to touch my hair, that is where I think best. Will you call that a misbehavior, or will you call that my learning style? So what Abdi has said, I had order, I had manage, and I can also see order, manage, order, manage. I'm seeing a lot of taking charge of the class.
Monitor all learners.
Yes, can Masi Njama, what do you mean by taking charge of all learners? Taking charge of the class. Can you be able to take charge of 60 children who are busy discussing? Can you be able to be in charge of each and every learner in the class? Or can you resort to the shortcut of telling them, keep quiet, pay attention, face in front, fold your arms? So Philomena is saying ability to carry out learning smoothly without disruption. Can learners be learning energetically without disrupting each other, but they are all learning? Can they be there discussing and talking and sharing among themselves without disrupting? So these are things I want us to think through, and we see when you go to a class which is quiet, everybody forcing in front, everybody listening, and the teacher is talking from 0 minutes to 40 minutes or to 30 minutes. You go to another class, the teacher has posted a question on the board, and the learners are discussing in groups, chatting, some on the floor, some on a manila, some on the desk, exploring the answer, full of energy, different academic noise going inside. How will you compare the two classes in terms of learning? Is learning listening? Is learning sponging? Dr. Sam, I can see your hands up. Please say something.
Hello?
Yes, please say something.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Gyoko. I think it's an interesting thing to say that if you find a class which is dead silent. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Continue.
Yeah, good. So if I found a class which is dead silent and the teacher is the only one talking, I think I would get very worried. Because I would not be sure whether there would be any learning. But what I would be sure is that there would be a teacher who is talking in front of the children. Thank you.
So, I can see Louisa is saying, Maggie says the teacher being in a position to control learners in class. When we talk about learning style, you saw that we all learn in different ways. So are you able to control learning, or are you able to create an environment where learning thrives in a different format? So Regina is saying learning is engaging them in such a way that they all, I like the word all, they all see a sense in what they're doing. They all.
Someone. Yes.
So that is very interesting. I like the debate that this has produced. And in the WhatsApp, there have been a lot of discussion on this. Look at this questioning self-assessment. Look at this question. When you are going to class, which one do you do out of this? Can you look at them, all of them, and you say yes or no to each of them? And then you post on the post how many are yes, how many are no for you. Be candid. When you go to look at the mirror, you use both eyes. You don't close your eyes and you face the mirror. So here we are facing the mirror. Look at this activity and score yourself for each. Number one, I prepare questions as part of my lesson preparation. Do you do that? As you are preparing your lesson, do you write the questions you'll ask in the class? Or you think of the questions while in your class? So go through them 1 to 10 and write how many you have said yes and how many you have said no, and post them here. We are showing 10 activities which you do. The first one is, yeah, the 10th one you add your own. So number one, I prepare a question as part of my lesson preparation. Is it yes or no for you?
Let's get the 5 answers for the first one so that we can move to the next one.
So can you write one? Is it yes or no? Right down there we see. Number one. Go to the chat, right? Is it yes or no? Okay. We have 2, 3, yeah. Good, good, good. Be candid. Be candid. This is a mirror. Okay. We have reached the 5 we promised. Number 2, I make sure I use a variety of questions. I make sure I use a variety of questions. We are now in number 2.
I can see yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Number 3, I always pause for a few seconds after posing a question to give students time to think. The wait time. Number 3, do you give wait time or you want to rush and cover the syllabus?
Number 3, yes, 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 yes.
Number 4, I make sure all students get an opportunity to answer a question. Do you give opportunity to all, or you only take the front row, or you take those who say, sir, 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 miss, 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 miss?
No, 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 yes, no.
Okay.
There's a balance between yes and a bigger number of no.
Okay. Number 5, I actively engage all students in thinking. Number 5, I actively engage. Are you the teacher who asked the longest river in Africa is River Nile?
Nigeria. So there is no yes, 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 no, yes.
Then number 6, you use a variety of prompts to encourage further reasoning and answers. When you ask a child a question, do you tell them, tell me more? What do you mean by that?
Yes, yes, yes. We have a number of yeses. There are 7 now, 8.
And then number 8, number 7, I use students' answer as a start for further and prompting questions. When the students give you their answers, do you reform it again to say, okay, you said River Nile is the longest river. Why do you think so? And then number 8, I try to follow the line of thought. If a student gave an answer, which is their answer, but it is not the same with your answer, do you reflect on why they gave you that answer? Like now, Abdi told me Nigeria. Do I say wrong? Or do I say, why did he say Nigeria? Is it because I say River Nile? So reflect on that to ask yourself, why did the learner give a wrong answer? And number 9, do we involve students in discussion with one student after one student had given an answer? So an answer has been given. Do you allow your student to discuss that answer deeper? Number 9.
So we are on number 9. Yes, 1 yes. Yes. No. Yes. No.
Okay, number 10. Tell us
No.
what you do when you are planning questions in there. Tell us what you handle. Tell us one thing that you do when you are handling questions in a class. Type a sentence. Tell us what you do when you are handling or when you are planning for questions to use in class. When you are planning or when you are delivering your lesson. Type a sentence there on the questionnaire.
So you can use what you are seeing on the screen as your guideline. In this guideline, we had said, for instance, I make sure that I have a variety of questions. What do you do other than what has been written here that you think we should learn from each other? So how do you do your questioning?
So,
Fantastic.
Marcy says use cues for prompting question. Okay, thank you, Marcy. I ask very relevant question to the topic that to guide the thinking process. Question that do not require yes and no. Excellent scholar. Distribution of questions around the class. Okay. I prepare IQ question which I use in class, but also adapt question by learners. Okay. I engage all the students in handling the question, no favoring students. Okay. I always set questions, give open-ended. Okay. So we can see that in this community of learning, we are able to learn from our colleagues, because based on what they are writing here, if it is something which you don't do, you can learn from your colleagues based on what they are posting here. Use of appropriate language according to age of learners. Yes, involve as many learners as possible in responding to the question. So that is about
the chat.
Yes.
And from the chat, we have Lucy who says, I ask questions related to the topic. Rachel Wambua says, I relate them with the lesson I am teaching as I teach.
Yes. So you find that the 9 questions are now 10 for you, and maybe the list will be 15 or 20. It helps you to support the learner. So based on the number of cases, the number of cases means that your question is deeper. Number of responses is you have more no, it means your teaching approach is surface. So this is a reflection of what we do in question, because questioning is an approach which facilitates deep learning. And we had in the workbook, we have an assignment called Developing Questions. There's a nice podcast which has been presented by Madam Priscilla. So when you go to class, listen to Madam Priscilla, who is presenting about questioning, the type of question, closed, deep, surface, and then answer the questions which you have been given in the class. And for the purpose of all of us to see that, I'll go to the class so that you see what I'm talking about. This is our class. And in the class, when I go to classwork, you will see this one. Actually, one person has answered. It is due today. This is what we are supposed to listen to this podcast. It is called Generating Question. It is Priscilla's podcast, and it is giving you questions. So you listen to the podcast and you answer the question. 8 people have already handed in. So that is what we like you to do when you go to the podcast, Developing Questions. So we are now going to go to groups shortly, just a short session in our groups, and then we'll come back in the main group. So we like you to turn to click on this, type this one in the or the moderators will type it in the chat for you to join the group. So that one will be posted so that we join the group. Let me see if I can get it live in another format so that I can copy it and just paste in the class. So if you're in group A, click the one with A at the end. If you're in group B, click the one with B at the end. We are going to go to the group shortly for only 5 minutes. Then we'll come back so that I want to demonstrate going to groups. So if you belong to group B, click on that link with B at the end. If you belong to group A, click on that link with the A at the end. And then if you are to come back, you'll click on the link called coming back. There'll be a link called going back to class. So let us click on that link. We go to those groups, and in the other group, Abdi will be there with you. Then I'll be there for those who will be in group B. We're just showing you how to break away to another group, and then we will come back to this group. So I want to post the one of coming back so that we don't go there and get stuck. So I'm posting another link called going back to the key groups so that once we finish, after 5 minutes, we come back to the main group. So ladies and gentlemen, let's break away to the other groups. And I'm going to group A, Abdi go to group B, and then let's meet at, it's now 12:37. Let's meet at 12:45, 11:45. Let's meet at 11:45. So I'll click on group A. It means I'll get out of this group and I'll go to the other group. So you won't be able to hear me here. Also for you, go to the chat, click on your group. If you're in group B, click group B. Don't worry if you are not aware, just go to any of the group. Then we go there, we see how it goes going to another group, then we'll reconvene back here. So let's try that now. I'm now going to group A.
Not clicking. I'm clicking. It's not moving.
Just wait, it will move you. It will open a new window and then move you.
Because it's not moving. It's just there. I'm stuck there.
Me too.
You just need to be a bit patient. It will move us. You click on it and then it will take you to another room.
Right.
The only thing I'll advise you to do is not to click on back because it will take you out of it completely.
Hello. Mine can't move, please.
Same to mine.
Also mine.
Mine is also not moving. You mean, just stuck.
I've also clicked mine. I'm waiting for it to move me. So you're not alone.
Okay.
Okay.
So not moving.
Hello, am I in or out?
We are in the same room.
Okay.
I have not moved. I'm still where I was. I'm not in a room, in any room.
So long
Are
as
we
you
with
can hear
Mr.
me, it means we are in the same room.
Hello.
Okay.
Am
Are we
I in room A?
How many of you had clicked room A?
I'm in room B.
Have we been moved to room B? I've not seen any change.
I haven't
I am
seen
in
the
a room.
change yet, but I
I'm
have
in
clicked
B.
on room B.
I'm in group B.
Which room am I
Okay,
in?
let's start. I mean, room
Are we
A.
with Mr.
Mine is not moving.
This is
This
supposed
is
to
room
be.
B, right?
Yes,
This should be
this is room
B.
B.
Yeah.
Let's start.
I haven't seen any change.
I think this is room B.
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Room B. And
Somebody.
are we with Mr. Abdi?
Yes, I am here with you guys. I'm in this room with you.
Okay. Okay.
Hello. I need to move to room A. Hello.
Now,
Kindly somebody.
on this room, I might not be able to move you again because I don't have the administrator.
The link.
Let's stay.
What we will need to do
Abdi, I think we can
is
stay
wait
in this room for those of us who cannot move.
I think so.
for the link to be shared
Post the
to
link.
us
Share
here.
the link,
Room
please.
Okay.
B. Am I in room B with Abdul Kadir Ismail?
We are in the same room.
Masi Kenya, can you see Masi Mwaniki?
Abdul.
Masi.
There you are.
Yeah, I can see you.
Abdi Kadil, are we in the same room, Eunice Goge?
Masi Mwaniki, I can see you. Can you see me, Masi?
Yes, Masi is there. Masi Kenya.
Eunice Goge? Yes, Eunice there.
Unmute
Lucy
the
Mwenda,
other
are you in room B? Lucy Mwenda?
And can you see Moses?
Mercy Kenya, are you in room B?
I'm in room B, Masi Mwaniki.
Masi Mwaniki, can you see Eunice Goge?
Yes.
Yes.
That's hi.
Masi Mwaniki, can you see Eunice Goge in that room?
Masi Kenya, can you see me?
Who are you? Can you see me? Who?
Bernadette. Bernadette.
I can see LM
Eunice Goge is in
and
this room.
EK.
Indeed,
I can
indeed,
see
yeah.
Eunice Goge is in this room. Mercy Kenya
Which
is also in
room?
this room.
Okay.
What about Greg? You're in room A or B?
My son in B.
Abdikadir, Margaret Nyambo, which room?
I think
Am I in A or B?
Apparently, it seems we did not move to any of the rooms. Ours did not allow us to. We were supposed to go to room B.
So which room is
Because
this?
by settings, it seems we were not. We clicked on it, but we didn't move much. Yes, because we will have received a prompt telling us that we are in room B.
But
Abdi,
Yes, please.
this is room A.
Uh-huh.
Which group is this? Is it group A? Am I in B?
We were supposed.
This is
I
A.
think none of us here has moved from the room. I think we were unable
I'm
to
with
move.
Charles. Charles, are we in the right room? Charles, it's Philomena Kingori. Are we in the same room? Room B. Oh, okay, fine.
Which group is
Okay, fine.
Naomi, can you see me?
Okay, fine.
You can check on the WhatsApp that we're sharing.
Where are you?
You know where
Is
we
this
are.
A or B? Yes.
Can you see me?
Miriam, I'm with Lena Wanjiku. Abdikadir is fine.
We are back. Hello. Okay, we are back in the main room. Unfortunately, we didn't see any of you in the other room. Mulipotea, hamkwenda kwa group A, group B. We were expecting to see you in the other room, but this is something we'll practice along as we do our session. So we are going to proceed to the last part of the session. So remember, some of these sessions you will be required to go through the groups, and as you go through the groups, you'll be required to break away in small groups, go there and discuss, and then come back in the session. So as we are coming to the end of the session, I was expecting you to have discussed this in other groups, but because we were not able, we are now back into the main group. I want you to think through how was technology used this, and type in the chat. How did we use technology in the session? Yes. Go to the chat and type, yes. How was technology used in this session? We are now having 5 minutes to finish, and we close. So go in the chat and type, how was technology used in this session, which is coming to an end? How was technology used in this session? Rose Tairu, don't worry, you'll know your groups. You are going to send, we're going to tell you which is your groups. How was technology used in this session? Can you type there, how was technology used in this session? Let's type there, how was technology used in the session?
I'm unable to type the response in my chat.
If you are not able to type, can you say, speak it out, please, Janet? Tell us how it was used.
The technology used was effective.
Yes.
Benedict.
Okay. So we can see people have typed there. Okay. Technology was used interchangeably, Google Classroom, chat links. Okay, distance learning. Scale of 1 to 10, I'll give 4.5. Thank you, Alice. Effectively used for communication. It was high tech, very efficient. Okay, so as you are thinking that, also all this, what do you think would fall under digital literacy? We were thinking, what will fall under digital literacy? Can you write down what was falling under digital literacy? What was falling under digital literacy? Can we write in the chat? What do you think in all these which we are doing? What under digital literacy? You can't hear me now? Digital literacy. Okay. Which ICT skills did we use in the session? Can you type them down there? ICT skills. Okay, being able to effectively switch from one platform to another. Thank you, Regina.
Visual learning, Benedict.
Visual learning, Benedict. Thank you. Manipulative skills in science and technology. Ability to access information online. Okay, that is great. Which other literacies or did we use as we are engaging, apart from digital literacy and ICT literacy? Which other literacies did we use? Manipulative skills, ability to access information online. Thank you. Visual learning. I'm seeing others in the WhatsApp. For those who cannot type there, they can type in the WhatsApp, which is good. Communication and collaboration, visual learning, media, ICT skill, interactive learning. Thank you, Karaoke. Kindly repeat the question, effective communication. I don't get that, Philomeno Njiko. Videos, Lucy Kimani, okay. So you can see when you talk about digital literacy, is a combination of digital literacy and other literacies. And you find that I want you to reflect about all the softwares we have used. We have used WhatsApp, we have used Teams, we have used Google Classroom, we have used podcasts, we have used docs, we have used forms, and we are going to use Flipgrid. So I'd like you to answer the following question. How was the experience in exploring the software? Because the session today was to experience the software. How was the experience in exploring the software? And your answer, you should go to the Flipgrid stream and share. So if you go to flipgrid.com, you'll go to they'll ask you for a code. And I want to share with you the code which you'll use, but it is also in the classroom. So if you go to Flipgrid, just type flipgrid.com. Just type flipgrid.com like that. Sorry, I made a mistake there. Flipgrid.com. And it will ask you for a code. Remember, we were told to download. I can see 10 people, 3 people have responded on that particular question. So if you go to flipgrid.com, you will get some question which you need to answer. I had seen 11 people had answered on that question. Actually, 5 people. So when you go to flipgrid.com, you will get a code and it will ask you what to do. Let me just try to see if I can demo. Flipgrid.com, if I can demo that. So you'll type flipgrid.com, flipgrid.com, then it will take you somewhere like here. Then it will ask you for a code. You'll come here and you'll be asked a code. So when you come here, not here, sorry, it's a different class. Flipgrid.com, it will ask you for a code. So when you come here in the code, you'll enter that particular code. And the code here is 1F 1699D0. And when you enter a code like that, it will come to this page, critical thinking and problem solving. And it will ask you this question. You can see some people have answered. You can see Leah has answered. So how was my experience with the software? What did you like? What was new to you? So you'll click this and it will come up and you'll answer what you have said. So that is our last activity. You go to flipgrid.com, you enter that particular code. The code will be shared in WhatsApp and in class just now. I want to share it in WhatsApp. It is live in WhatsApp, the code. So when you click that code I've posted in WhatsApp, you'll record a video. This is our Diana and Tinyari has done, Abdi has done, and Christine has done. So we are expecting you to post all these as we are finishing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we had a nice session. And as we are finishing, we need to appreciate that according to the British Council definition of digital literacy is using technology as a tool to reinforce, extend, and deepen learning through international collaboration. It's about enabling learners to discover, master, and communicate knowledge and information in a globalized economy. So today you are demonstrating digital literacy and what it can do. And we'd like to ask you a question. How do you enhance digital literacy in your school? Because digital literacy is about functional skills, creativity, critical thinking and evaluation, cultural and social understanding, the ability to find communication, and safety. In your school, how to enhance tell us in your school, how do you enhance digital literacy? Can you post it in the classroom? In your school, how do you enhance digital literacy? Let's post it in the chat as we are finishing. How do we enhance digital literacy in our school? Can we post it in the chat room? This is the last activity we are finishing. How do you enhance digital literacy in your school with your learners?
Dr. Gyoko?
Yes?
I have put in the chat the registration form, so maybe you could comment on that.
That's great. I'll do. So there is a registration form in the chat, and it will also be in WhatsApp. So click on it and register that you are present today. Otherwise, we will not know who was present today. So Mr. Enos has done. So Regina says, by allowing participants to freely engage in digital platform. Thank you, Regina. Asking learners to take short videos. Thank you. So Abdi is advising us, can you post in the Google Classroom your answers so that we finish this? So please post your answers in the classroom, Google Classroom. And ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end of this session. It was nice. Welcome back to our learning. And we are giving you this opportunity to practice this application, the podcast, the WhatsApp, the Google Docs, the Teams, the Google Classroom, the Google Forms, and the Flipgrid. Thank you very much. I'll now hand it over to Abdi as we finish the session. Asanteni sana. Tomorrow we are starting at 8:30 sharp. And we do 1.5 hours. Then we have a 1 hour working break, whereby we leave you to work. And then we resume back at 11 and we finish at 12:30 sharp. Let's adhere this time. And if you have any problem, post in WhatsApp so that we can assist you. Over to you, Abdi.
Thank you very much, Daktari. And thank you every one of us for taking your time to be in this session. I know it has been quite challenging to a few of us. I've been working on the chats all along since last night. A good number of us were not able to access, but I'm very happy that we have a big team that has accessed right now. Today was mainly to help us understand the platform and to help us understand the various digital tools that we shall utilize during our engagement that will be for this week. As Daktari has rightly put it, from tomorrow our sessions will begin at 8:30. We will run a session that will take 1.5 hours, then give you a 1 hour break. Then we finish the next 1.5 hours so that by 1 latest we should be done with our sessions, so that we just finish using the morning hours. Now from tomorrow you will be going right into the course. We will post for you some of the activities that we intend you to look at before we start the sessions tomorrow. And I'll encourage each one of us to try as much as possible to practice. From now up to the time we shall start our sessions tomorrow, you have enough time to practice on all these tools that Daktari had shared on the screen, and I will still reshare the same that I'm asking us to practice on. This, I hope, is seen on my screen. We've said we will just need time to practice on this. There are the podcasts that we have. There are the chats, the Google Forms, using Teams, and the best way you can improve on how you use Teams is to try and help your colleagues who are not yet in Teams so that they can join Teams. How we can use our Google Classroom, and it's very important for us to work on this, because here, unlike when we are just posting on WhatsApp, when we post on Google Classroom, later on you can come and pick everything that you learned. So we will encourage you as much as possible, use the Google Classroom, because it will develop a very good portfolio for you, and you will get all the learnings. In case anybody asks you, what did you learn? Then you have a repertoire of things to